When we think about the marvels of modern engineering, we imagine the tallest skyscrapers, the grandest bridges, and the most elaborate buildings. But hidden beneath some of these iconic structures are mistakes so critical they could have led to catastrophic disaster. Today, we're uncovering 5 of the biggest construction blunders ever made, errors that nearly caused monumental tragedies. These are not just small mishaps. These are the kind of mistakes that changed the course of architectural history. And you won't believe how close we came to disaster. Let's start with one of the most famous mistakes in the world of construction. Number 5. The Leaning Tower of Pisa. This structure is known worldwide for its iconic tilt, but the story behind the Leaning Tower of Pisa is far from romantic. Construction on this tower started in 1173, but by the time workers reached the 3rd floor, something strange was happening. The tower began to lean. Why? Because the builders hadn't accounted for the soft, unstable ground beneath it, a mix of sand, clay, and shells. The soil couldn't bear the weight of the tower, and it began to sink on one side. As if the situation weren't already dire, the problem worsened over time. The builders tried everything, including halting construction for almost 100 years while they figured out a solution. Eventually, they completed the tower in 1372, but the lean was permanent. In the 1990s, engineers had to step in again, removing soil from beneath the higher side to stabilize the structure and prevent collapse. Now, while millions of tourists flock to see the Leaning Tower each year, it stands as a warning. Never underestimate the importance of solid ground when you're building. One small miscalculation can haunt you for centuries. Number 4. The Lotus Riverside collapse. In 2009, in Shanghai, a 13-story apartment building at the Lotus Riverside complex collapsed, tipping over entirely intact. The cause? Poor foundation work. As workers excavated a nearby underground parking garage, they destabilized the soil supporting the building, and they worsened the problem by piling excess dirt near the structure. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but this disaster shocked the construction industry and led to stricter safety regulations in China. It was a chilling lesson in how foundational errors can bring down an entire building. Number 3. The Tacoma Narrows Bridge collapse. Up next is the story of a bridge that danced itself to death. The Tacoma Narrows Bridge, nicknamed Galloping Gertie, was an architectural wonder when it opened in Washington in 1940. But just 4 months later, the bridge collapsed in one of the most dramatic engineering failures in history. So, what went wrong? Wind. Engineers at the time didn't fully understand how wind forces could affect a suspension bridge. They designed the bridge with a narrow, thin deck, which made it incredibly vulnerable to the wind. As strong winds whipped through the Tacoma Narrows, the bridge began to twist and sway in an unsettling way, almost like it was alive. On November 7, 1940, the violent oscillations reached their breaking point, and the entire structure collapsed into Puget Sound. Thankfully, no lives were lost, but the collapse taught engineers a valuable lesson. When it comes to bridge design, you can't afford to ignore natural forces. This disaster spurred advancements in aerodynamic models that are now crucial in the construction of modern bridges. Number 2. The Citicorp Center crisis. The Citicorp Center in New York was completed in 1977 with a bold design supported by stilts placed in the middle of each side of the building. However, a young engineering student discovered that the structure was vulnerable to strong diagonal winds because the joints were bolted rather than welded. Had a major windstorm struck, the building could have collapsed, endangering thousands of lives. In a secretive race against time, engineers reinforced the building at night. This close call remains one of the most famous architectural rescues in history, emphasizing the need to reassess and improve even the most innovative designs. Number 1. The Burj Khalifa maintenance nightmare. The Burj Khalifa in Dubai, standing at 828 meters, is the tallest building in the world, but maintaining its 24,000 reflective windows has proven to be a monumental challenge. Engineers designed a custom window cleaning system with mechanical arms, but it still takes a team of workers 3 months to clean the entire exterior, and the process must be repeated several times a year due to the desert climate. The Burj Khalifa is an incredible feat of engineering, but it's a reminder that the practicalities of maintenance are just as important as the initial design. Now, we'd love to hear from you. Which of these construction mistakes surprised you the most? Do you think we've learned enough from these errors to prevent future disasters? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of construction blunders, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating stories like this one. Thanks for watching.